Hey David, why do solid colors and melange colors look so similar but have such different lead times?
It's a very important question for most buyers to understand before they develop any samples or bulk orders. In general and from the outlook, it's only the difference of the colors, but at the back, actually, it's the big difference between the spinning techniques and dyeing techniques. So let me explain. First, you have to understand how we achieve the look of solid color and melange color. In solid color, usually it was produced by the greg yarn. So we have the greg yarn already, then we dye the yarn directly, so we get the solid color in one time. And for the melange color, it's a bit more complicated, so we don't have the greg yarn. We first dye the material or the fibers. For instance, if you have a wool acrylic, then you will probably dye the wool fibers in some colors, and then you dye the acrylic in some colors, then mix the fibers together, and then you spin them into the yarns, and then you get the melange effect out of it. So in general, actually, it's the difference in producing the yarns and not only the difference of the colors. And because of that, that's also causing the problems of leading time. So for most of the regular yarn, they would have the greg yarn in stocks. For example, the regular cotton, the regular 100% wool, the 50 wool, 50 acrylic sort of yarn, they all have greg yarns, mostly in stocks. So we only need to dye the yarn, and it's probably only 2 to 3 weeks. But for melange colors, since there's nothing in stocks, we have to dye the fibers from very beginning and spin them into the yarns. So in general, that's about 30 days, 4 weeks to 6 weeks. Sometimes it's up to 8 weeks in peak seasons. So that's a very big difference in the leading time. And then also it will cause the problem in MOQ, because since the greg yarn is ready, so if you only dye the solid colors, it only needs 3 to 5 kilos per color. But for melange color, since it's a whole process of making the yarn and also using the spinning machines, so at least 10 to 20 kilos per color. So that's also a very big difference. That's only for the salesman yarn, but for bulk order, it's even more big difference. For most of the melange color, they would require 200 to 500 kilos per color. And for solid color, it's still 30 kilos and 50 kilos is still okay for productions, because as long as there's a small lot for dyeing. So that's also a big difference in MOQ for both SMS and bulk order. And then there's also difference in the cost. For some special quality, the melange color, due to the high MOQ issue and complication in the process, the melange color sometimes is more expensive than the solid colors. So in general, it's not only the difference of the color, but in general, it's a big difference behind the production logic. And if you can understand this, it will help you to understand when to use the solid color, when it's better to use the melange color. Of course, it represents different feelings in the garment, but more importantly, if you can understand it correctly, it will help you to make better selections when you are doing different development and also productions. If you're very interested to know about the knitwear, the production, and all the details behind it, you're very welcome to comment under my post. We are Spreadlit. We only make men's knitwear.